Yeah, please shout out in chat that you can hear me okay. How you guys doing? Greetings, brothers. Happy Saturday night. I hope everything is well. Just getting set up here. I feel like I might have forgotten something, but for the most part, I think I'm good. And we are live. Cool, thank you, Adam. Good evening, everyone. Tom. Kate Dean, not sure I've met you before. Joseph, Highland, Theo, Mike. Good evening, guys. How you doing? Thanks for subscribing the other day, Mike. I don't know if I caught that on stream. If you maybe subscribed after the stream had ended or something, so much appreciated. Yeah, grabbing a couple more paints here. One sec. What's up, brother? How you doing? Hey, good day from Australia. 8:15 in the future. So lucky to catch you. Good morning, Dave. So is it? I guess it's Sunday, right? Well, okay. I knew that there was a big time difference, but I didn't realize it was like quite that much. I guess 10 hours it must be about, because it's 10 p.m. here. Okay, so I'm going to be painting some veterans and my company champion tonight. And we are just doing like early, I guess they are in sort of like the early stages of paint, so we're just trying to get some base colors on these guys. First off, 1500 point game today, going to give 3 Blade Guard and the company champion a go as oath scoring units. Yeah, that's pretty much what these guys are for me, I guess. Oath scoring units, or just random guys to hold objectives and that sort of thing. But yeah, I hope you've had a good weekend then. I actually was drinking some whiskey last night. I took the evening off. It was a long week at work, so I just had a nice relaxing whiskey, try and unwind a little bit. I don't know what your lockdown situation here is in Australia, but in the UK it's still mental. Like, we've been locked down for 2 months and there's talk of like at least another month of lockdown, or so to speak. So it's pretty annoying, but trying to use the time to get a ton of models painted is where I stand with it. Trying to understand the CB cost for relics. Yeah, sure, repeat your question and I'll help you. You can ask random questions. And I hope you guys all put a comment in on Friday's video, because if you didn't put a comment in, then you don't have any chance of winning the models. All you got to do is find the video I put up on Friday. It's the Leviathan against the Derrideo. It'll be last video on the channel. If you just find that video and you just put a comment in it, like any comment, like if you don't know what to say, just say thanks for the video. But make sure you put a comment in there, because that's the video that I'm going to use to give away 3 boxes of Space Marines that we've got. So you definitely, for the 2 minutes it takes you to go over there and put the comment in, go ahead and do that, because it would be nice if some of the regulars that are always hanging out in chat and stuff win the models that we're giving away this week. And hopefully this will be the first of many giveaways, right? Do you get one gratis, or do they all cost a CP? Yes, you get your first relic free, I believe. It might have to be given to your warlord though. I do not remember where in the rulebook it says that. They change it every edition as well, but you do get 1 free relic per army, same as you get a free warlord trait. Someone in chat can answer 100%. The free relic you get, does it have to be on your warlord, or can you put it on something else? I can't think off the top of my head where that is in the book. I mean, normally your warlord has a relic anyway, so yeah, we are. I mean, I guess we're pretty consistent at getting subscribers every day on the channel, you know. I guess people generally really like the comparison videos because it really lets them know like what to spend their money on, right? And you know what, I'm learning stuff from the comparison videos. Like I just, after this week's video with Leviathan, I've literally ordered a siege drill because I was like, I thought the claw was better because you got an extra attack and stuff, but it's like, oh my god, raw damage output, that drill. I mean, it's a bit more swingy, right? Because you could get like a double 1 on the damage roll, but like the fact that against armor just does a flat 6 is pretty. Any weapon that does flat 6 damage is pretty strong in most situations, right? And especially for the points cost of it, it's like it's almost like a no-brainer to pick it. Good afternoon, brothers. Nice to see the stream when I'm awake from my afternoon nap. I actually dozed off this afternoon for a little while while I was looking after the baby. She's just running around playing on the floor, and like I just dozed off a little bit as well. If your warlord is Blood Angels, then you get a free relic. Unless you use Relic of the Chapter 2 times for 2k, Artisan of War does not cost a CP unless it's Hero of the Chapter. Yeah, I mean, that is true. I know that, like, we can essentially get 5 relics in a 2k battle right now, because you get your free relic, you get 2 relics of the chapter, you take Angel's Exemplar to get, like, a second relic on your warlord by using Artisan of War, and then you can take Angel's Ascendant to get, you know, like, another relic. I guess they're not relics, they're mastercrafted, or special issue war gear, I think it's called, not mastercrafted. But essentially you could pay 5 CP to get 3 relics and 2 special issue war gears in a Blood Angels 2000 point army at the moment, and that is valid. And I think in the list that I'm going to be running post lockdown, I'm going to have 4 relics in my list. The thing I like about relics is like they're there for the entire game, right? So they're just buffing your troops for the entire game. This is a friggin' cool sword, isn't it? Once I get some paint on it, maybe you'll be able to see it better. Thinking I might go quite light on this sword. I usually use like quite a darker blue. We'll put down a coat of darker blue, but we might lighten it up. I think we probably will lighten it up. I'm in Victoria, Australia, and our lockdown is finally a lot tighter. This is good, except I don't have a lot of time for models right now. Well, I mean, tell me when you've been in lockdown for like 2 or 3 months if you think it's good, because like I am sick fed up of it, I'll tell you. It just has to be your faction. Thank you, D-King. I mean, I don't even know where that is in the 9th edition book. Honestly, I haven't read the 9th edition book probably as much as I should have. It's funny, like, when the new edition comes and you just expect some rules to carry over and then you forget exactly the wording, and then it's like, where's that in the book again? The only requirement is that as a Blood Angels character is your warlord, the relic can go in any chapter. Oh, sorry, and any character provided the relic can go in that model type. Yeah, okay, cool. So thank you for clarifying, guys. Do you know what? I think I looked for it in the new book at one point and couldn't find it. I mean, the rulebooks are not always the easiest thing to navigate, right? And then, like, I think it was on stream I was looking for it and I couldn't find it, and I just gave up and was like, I'm pretty sure it's fine, but someone in chat can help out. Scotland is a mess, man. We think we are getting out, then they extend it. Yeah, okay, Joseph, are you from Scotland as well? Cool. Yeah, I mean, we think we've been getting out for months, but they keep extending it. It's kind of annoying, I guess. 6 relics, there's the Sergeant one as well. I thought I was including the Sergeant one, the Angel's Ascendant, to get 5. I'm not sure how you would get 6, because I think Angel's Exemplar and... Because I think Warlord traits have to be unique as well, so you couldn't get multiple Warlords taking Artisan of War to get extra relics, or extra special issue war gears. You're right. 4 CP would give you 5 relics because the first one would be free. I mean, that's still pretty cool, right? Like, I'd be willing to burn 4 CP, and I'd probably be willing to burn another 2 CP for, like, 2 heroes of the chapter, because I just like my characters to be absolute badasses. And giving them, you know, sticking them with full of relics like that does just that. It just makes them super difficult to kill, or super strong in combat. I kind of like it. Oh, you're in Aberdeen. Well, you're only like an hour from me, Joseph, because I'm up in Murray. Maybe not even an hour, depending on where you are in Aberdeenshire, I guess. Yeah, I think I will make this sword quite a bit lighter than my normal power sword painting, but I guess for the moment, laying down a sort of heavier coat of blue will be fine anyway. Evening, brothers. Evening, Mikey. How you doing? Hope you're well. Andrew, how you doing? Building the Swarm Lord tonight. Is TGI still alive in Aberdeen? Yeah, it's gonna be weird, I suppose. Like when everything opens up again, like what will have survived and what will have closed. I guess. I imagine a lot of shops will have closed for good, I guess. How do you enter the giveaway? All you need to do is go find the video that I'd posted on Friday. It's the Leviathan versus the Deradeo, right? If you go over to like the Blood Angels Commander page on YouTube, like I guess like if you scroll down below the live stream and click where it says Blood Angels Commander, that'll take you to the Blood Angels Commander page. Right at the top of that page, there's like a tactics playlist. So just click on the latest video in the tactics playlist, which is the Leviathan. All you got to do is put a comment in that video. A comment can be anything you want it to be. So just comment in that video and you have a chance to win one of the 3 kits. And we're gonna do the draw next Sunday. That's just had to double check that in my brain. Yeah, so next Sunday we're gonna do the draw. On Sunday's live show we'll do the draw, and so basically people can see it's all fair and stuff. But yeah, so basically, I mean, you don't have to do it tonight because I'm going to let people enter for another week in case they missed it, or in case they forgot, or in case they've had a busy week, you know. But yeah, so the draw is next Sunday, and if you're tuning in on Sunday, tomorrow's live show, I'll mention the giveaway again. So if you don't do it right now, I'll give you another reminder tomorrow as well. Did you get any Brushmaster events for the Aberdeen store? I don't really enter painting competitions, man. I mean, I'm sure I know for a fact that they do painting competitions at the Aberdeen store, but I'm not sure my painting is. Usually when you see those entries in the store, I was at Warhammer Fest a couple of years ago and like saw a bunch of the entries for like Golden Demon at Warhammer Fest, and like the skill and the professionalism of those painters like dwarfs me like on an epic scale. So no, I haven't entered any painting competitions, if that's the question. I mean, I'm mainly just painting to be battle ready plus a little bit, you know. Like I like my models to look good on the tabletop, and maybe like have like 1 or 2 highlights on top of that, but like I'm not anywhere near competition level painting. So what is everybody in chat building tonight then? Let's know. Andrew said he was doing a Swarm Lord. What model is that with the sword? This is Ralladorn, who is a Forge World... Well, it's a conversion of Ralladorn. So Ralladorn is the chapter master. He's the first chapter master of the Blood Angels. So I guess he was the chapter master, like 2 chapter masters before Dante or something like that. And yeah, this is a Forge World model that has had some extra pieces put onto it. Like he's got a Blade Guard veteran helmet because I'm going to use him as a company champion. I saw someone else do this with the... There's 2 pretty interesting Forge World models you could do this with. One is the Blood Angels Praetor, who's basically like a Forge World model with a sword, and then you've got Ralladorn here, who's also a Forge World model with a sword. So he's like the size of a vanilla Marine, maybe a little bit bigger. I mean, that's him side by side with the vanilla Marine, right? So like he's maybe... Yeah, he's a little bit bigger, but yeah, I mean, he's just... So he was a chapter master of the Blood Angels many years ago, but I'm just going to use him as my company champion, essentially. Flesh Render Grenades suck. Mastercrafted might be nice. I actually thought the Flesh Render Grenades didn't sound too bad, but I've never actually used them. So, I mean, on paper, they didn't sound too bad when I looked at them. But yeah, I've never... I suppose the thing with grenades is, and maybe even the Flesh Renders, it's like a 3-inch range or something. So, I mean, 90% of the time you won't be able to use them. So, you know, maybe it's a kind of a more edge / weaker pick. I don't think you can mastercraft on the Relic Blade. Relic Blades can be mastercrafted. It's very confusing. A Relic Blade is not a relic, right? Like, if they say you can't mastercraft a relic, they mean like the Teeth of Terra, they mean the Hammer of Baal. They should have really called the Relic Blade sword something else, like a relic sword, or maybe a... Yeah, maybe just having relic in the name is the confusing part. So yeah, you can mastercraft a relic blade. Like if you had a Vanguard Veteran Sergeant with a relic blade, you can mastercraft that 100%. John's painting some Necrons. John, oh dear, you traitor tonight, I guess. So tomorrow is a big fight, Devastation of Baal game, and I'm putting together my heavy plasma Hellblasters for the game. Nice. That's like your 4,000 point game, is it? That you're planning tomorrow, Mark? You said it was like 4,000 points of Blood Angels against 5,000 points of Nids. That'll be a pretty tough game. It would be nice to see a couple of photos from that, actually, if you can remember to snap a photo just to see the size of the table and like how many models are on it. That might be quite cool. Eradicator Squads. Yes, Eradicator Squads are great, right? Apparently Eradicator Squads are on eBay now, like because they released the multi-part kits. The regular ones are apparently on eBay going much cheaper. So if anyone wants just generic, where's the jump packs for the Vanguard Veterans? These aren't Vanguard Veterans, these are just Veterans. Did I say Vanguard Veterans earlier? If I did, I'm sorry. These are just 2 company veterans. They're going to essentially be the bodyguards for the champion, so he can't be shot, or any of my other characters can't be shot. And the great thing about these guys as well is like it's a 2-man squad. So like if you wanted to like do some sort of secondary action with them, like deploy scramblers or raise a banner or something, you know, it's only 2 models. They do have storm shields, so if they're in cover, they're on a 1-up save. So I think you know, and I guess if you want to strategic reserve them as well, it would be super cheap. So these are... I have off camera here tons of Vanguard Veterans that have Lightning Claws with jump backs. So, and I'm going to do them in the same gold scheme as I did the last lot. But yeah, no, these are just 2 company veterans with Lightning Claws and Storm Shields. They come in at like 48 points, I think, for the squad of 2 guys. I think it was. Actually, maybe it's more than that. Maybe it's... I think it was 48 with the... I think they're 20 points per model, and then it's 4 for the Storm Shield and 3 for the Lightning Claw, so it's probably more like 50 some points, but still pretty cheap for Space Marine squads, I guess. Bought 5 of the Chapter Hero Series 2 to make a 5-man Terminator squad. Nice, Rick. I love those Series 2 Terminators. I made... One of the first videos I actually did on this YouTube channel was me converting those Series 2 tactical Terminators, or... Sorry. Those Series 2 Terminators. In, like, I did some conversions with them. I actually had some spare... what were they? I had the... You know the bolters that the Inceptors have? Like, so I bought Inceptors and made them Plasma Inceptors, right? So I had a spare set of the bolters. So I actually ripped off one... Well, I didn't rip off one of the arms, actually. I just didn't put on the Series 3... Or, sorry, the Series 2 arm. I used the bolter arms from the Inceptors to make it look like they're like Storm Bolters were just like much bigger and more badass to try and make a cool conversion. I think it worked out pretty well. So, yeah, if you have some spare Inceptors, the bolter versions of them, and you never, you know, you bought them and you made them into plasmas, that's one way you could use those bolters to make something look pretty cool. I mean, you don't have to; it's just an idea. But yeah, I did it, and I thought it turned out pretty cool. I guess Gravis armor kind of must sort of match Terminator armor in terms of size a little bit. The Special Blood Angels tactical squads are going for £50 or £60 now. Yeah, do you know what, these legs are those exact Blood Angels tactical squad legs, you know, with the little loincloth thing going on here. It's sad that they discontinued that. You know, they actually used to make custom Blood Angels Terminator shoulder pads on Forge World, and they discontinued those as well. I was really upset because I only bought one set of them and I wish I'd bought more. I mean, you can probably get decent enough Blood Angels shoulder pads if you buy a box of Blood Angels Close Combat Terminators, but I mean, it's a lot to spend to get shoulder pads, right? Whereas before you could just buy the shoulder pads. I do have those. That's a great idea. You are welcome, Rick. Yeah, if you want to see how it looks, I mean, I don't have it. I don't think I ever finished painting that model, but I mean, I've got it, and it does look pretty cool, especially using those Terminators. Even if you wanted to do it just for like your captain, so your captain looks a bit more badass, and the rest of them could just have their normal bolters, that might work pretty well as well. Drop pod. New to this, so building an army, just got a box of Chapter and then you tailed off. Why do Primaris Marines not have jetpacks? Because... I mean, I don't have the answer. I think they will get jetpacks. We kind of have a running joke on the channel that there's a sentence in the new codex saying that the Primaris Marines love their jetpacks. But obviously they can't equip them, so like I guess they just love them from afar at the moment. But I mean, there is 100% in the new codex a section that talks about how Primaris Marines love their jetpacks. So I guess it's coming. I guess there was like a mismatch between the guys who write the lore and the guys who make the models. But yeah, I mean, I think it's only a matter of time before we get some sort of Primaris jump unit. I just thought it would be quicker than, I guess, the 3 or... I guess it's probably going to be over 3 years since the launch of Primaris and we don't have a jump pack. But then saying that, like, Primaris units are still super limited in terms of weapon options. You know, you look at an old Death Company, if you want, you can put 10 Thunderhammers on there. If you look at the Primaris Death Company, you can put 1 Thunderhammer on. You know, so I guess there's going to be a trade-off. I really don't like the lack of customization with the new Primaris models, personally. So... I mean, I guess it is what it is. We will get jump packs, I'm sure of it, but will it be? Will they be viable, I guess, is the other question, right? Like, if you can still only have one Thunderhammer and a 10-man squad of Death Company, are people going to drop the regular Death Company for that? I don't know. Do Blood Angels close combat Terminators have weapon options? Yeah, I mean, they have Storm Shield. They have Storm Shields and Thunderhammers. That's Storm Shields, Thunderhammers, and then Lightning Claws. That's all the weapon options they get. But if you're asking what's inside the box on the sprue, I believe that's what's in the box. There's no other options as far as I'm aware. Oh well, Joseph, you are set up if you got the Chaplain on the Bike, the Vanguard Guard, and the Vanguard Veterans. 3 really good squads. Good evening, Evan. How are you doing? Are you at 500 subscribers yet, Evan? Because I really want you to get there, man. You got to be close now, surely. We'll get jump packs when GW state all the Firstborn or Legends. Yeah, I mean, I think that would be suicide if they decided to try and make Firstborn Legends. I don't think they would have updated them all in 9th edition if they wanted to do that. I think they will. I think they'll make like 1 unit Legends each edition or something. You know, like they got rid of the Chaplain on a bike and replaced him with a Primaris guy on a bike. I think that's what they'll do. Like, next edition it might be the Captain on the bike, for example, and we'll get a Primaris Captain on a bike. I think they'll do it slowly. 9 subscribers. If anyone likes Blood Angels painting videos, then Evan apparently needs 9 subscribers over an Origin painting to get up to 500. He's actually doing a giveaway on 500. His giveaway is arguably better than mine, though, because he's going to paint the models for you, whereas like I ain't painting them for you. I can't even get my own models painted, so I ain't painting models for anybody else. So if you've not subscribed to Evan and you want to maybe win some painted models, then that's something you guys could consider as well. I would probably take Primaris Death Company jump packs. I already have 5-man with 1 Thunderhammer. I mean, I guess as Primaris you could maybe drop them into 5-man squads, and you could have 1 Thunderhammer per squad. But still, it just seems a bit annoyingly limited for no reason, you know. Someone was actually mentioning to me that like they actually really prefer in the new edition Power Fists and Infernal Pistols on the Death Company. Because they're the same points as the Thunderhammer, and basically having all those Infernal Pistols means that if they don't kill anything and they survive the round of combat, then you're just unloading like a ton of like, you know, potentially 8 damage a hit with an Infernal Pistol. So it actually sounded pretty interesting. To make a few Death Company models, maybe with Power Fist and Infernal Pistols. I mean, in some ways that's a little bit like the Sanguinary Guard, because they can do Power Fist and Infernal Pistols, right? But like the bolters on the Sanguinary Guard are pretty useful, unlike the bolt pistols on the Death Company are not useful at all, right? You know, when you have 5 bolt pistols, you shoot them. If you take a wound off something, it's a miracle. You know, like there's no big loss for the Death Company pistols. But I mean, the Sanguinary Guard pistol or the Angelus bolt guns, if you're around like if you're around your Warlord and you've got that +1 to hit, I mean, they can do some decent damage kind of from weight of fire and the fact that you can usually be like hitting on 2s, re-rolling 1s or something, you know? You guys rock. Thanks for giving Evan some love. I like his channel a lot, actually. And if you want to see the quality of stuff that he's going to paint for you, then look, here's one of Evan's models right here. I haven't decided what I'm doing with this Evan yet. I mean, it's a really awesome model. So, oh, thanks for following, Spencer. So this is an awesome model. My one issue is his base is going to be different from my whole army, and I guess I've got my own company champion here that I am working on, right? So, I may give this away to my subscribers. But yeah, no, thanks very much for painting this for me, Evan. It is super awesome, and he actually has a video on his channel on how he painted this guy. So if you like this, then you can see how he did it. I had someone here the other night actually asking about using an airbrush, and like I have no clue about using an airbrush. So I think I actually left you a message in Discord, Evan, about do you have any videos on how you like a new player guide for Blood Angels using an airbrush might actually get quite a few views. I don't know. It seems like it's a question that's come up a few times, and I'm like, yeah, I have no idea. Until I move home, I'm still just gonna stick on actually using a brush. Oh, yeah. I mean, it does look great, right? It's a very cool company champion. So yeah, maybe what I'll do is I'm reluctant to give it away, but I might give it away. And I forgot to say, actually, he actually wrote on the shoulder pad here. You can probably just see it. It actually says, maybe if I turn it towards the light, it just says BAC for Blood Angels Commander. I never even try and write on these things, but nice job, I guess. I don't know how you managed. What brush do you even use to write on stuff like that? Because none of my brushes, even new brushes, never have a fine enough point to write on those shoulder pads. If I was gonna write on one of those shoulder pads, I'd honestly probably like use a Sharpie with a really fine point and just try and write it on with a pen. I don't know if I would ever be able to paint that on. That's crazy difficult. And with Boba Fett and Blood Angels, get my subscription. Yeah, cool. Alright, you guys rock. I think Evan has a new video that comes out every Sunday, I think he says. So I'll give you something to watch after my live stream on Sundays. I actually have a bunch of Star Wars Legion models. I do actually have that game. But you know what? I haven't nearly played it enough. Maybe played it like 5 times in like, I think it's been out for like 3 or 4 years. I did like it though. It's a bit more skirmish style than Warhammer, but yeah, we tend to just always end up gravitating and playing 40k. Even if there are some other cool games around there, it's always 40k we seem to play. You wouldn't give the model away. You need a 005 micron pen. Okay. I've never heard of that, but I can Google it. I was running a 9-man Death Company squad with 3 fists, 3 infernals in it. Yeah, I mean, I think that's actually quite strong. Because not many people are going to wipe 10 Death Company or, like you said, 9 Death Company in a turn. So you're then going to be left with 3 of them in melee combat. Excuse me. With infernal pistols, and we know infernal pistols in melee combat. I mean, it's a bit of hit and miss if you hit, because you only get one hit, or so to speak. But you do get what I'm trying to say. You do get potential 8 damage from each one for 5 points. You know, it's pretty decent. traded my whole Imperial army for 40k. That's fair enough. First thing I see is how to play an Ultramarine aggressor or Ultramarine intercessor. What heresy? Yeah, I mean that is heresy. But I mean, you could always use the lesson to learn how to paint blue and then use it for painting a Blood Angels librarian, right? And then you're sorted. What's your thought on 10-man veteran intercessor squads with chainswords all round? Use them in a game for the first time. They were quite good, but not sure if there's a better choice. Can veteran intercessor squads use Honor the Chapter? I don't know. You need to... If you can confirm if they can or they can't for me, that would be useful. Because, honestly, I think... Well, elite choices in a Blood Angels army are like so critical, right? Like, we've got so many good elites, so like using your elite choices on intercessors to me doesn't seem like the best choice. And then, yeah, I don't know. I mean, they're basically Death Company intercessors. Like they just have one additional attack for being veteran, from what I understand. So they're not going to be super survivable. I mean, I don't even know if they're really that effective points cost. Like I've never looked at veteran intercessors and thought to myself like, yeah, damn, I need to get some veteran intercessors, you know? Like, I actually have tons of intercessors on sprues that, like, if I thought they were that good, I would have made. So I don't know what's turning you on to veteran intercessors. So Zach the Bird, how would you deal with Deathwing Knights from Dark Angels? I think one of the most effective ways to deal with them right now is going to be your Lightning Claws, right? Because you basically get to re-roll your wounds, and you're not going to take, you know. I'm trying to think. So if you charge, you have a 75% chance to wound them with Lightning Claws. So that's like going to be hot because you're going to wound on a 4. And then you're going to re-roll the 1, 2, or 3, so you're going to wound on a 4 again, right? So you're going to... Actually, you might even wound on a 3 if... Deathwing Knights, they're not toughness 5, are they? I actually don't know. I haven't been able to fight Dark Angels because of the lockdown. 1 second, let me check. No, so they're toughness 4. Okay, then you're going to actually wound them with Lightning Claws on... so you're going to wound them on 3s when you charge, and you're going to reroll your 1 and 2s, so you're actually going to have like an 85%... Well, no, you're going to wound on 4s because of the permanent transhuman. Yeah, but it's still going to be 75% chance to wound, right? Because you get to reroll. So I think that the toughness there was kind of irrelevant. I don't know why I asked that. And I have one of our subscribers here, I don't think he's in the chat just now, but Jonathan Torres, and he was the guy that made me do the math hammer for Vanguard Veterans with Lightning Claws against Death Company with like chain swords and thunder hammers. And those Vanguard Veterans with Lightning Claws do amazingly well against a lot of different things. And they actually do amazingly well against stuff like... Death Guard with their -1 damage, because the Lightning Claws are obviously unaffected by that. And like I just said, you actually get... You still wound very reliably against like much higher toughness models, and I guess you'll wound very reliably on those models that can only be wounded on 4s, right? Because you will wound on 4s, but you'll re-roll all your misses. Oh, sorry, you re-roll all your failed wounds. So you'll still wound 75% of the time with Lightning Claws. So... Vanguard Veterans normally get 2 attacks. You give them the Lightning Claw, and then they have 3 attacks. So on charge with Savage Echoes, they're potentially 5 attacks per model, wounding 75% of the time. The Sergeant could take some sort of pistol to give them Quake Bolt, so they're hitting on 2s. obviously their core, so they can get any sort of chapter master rerolls. And the fact they have storm shields actually makes them like very, very survivable. I think when we worked out the math, they were like 70 or 80% more survivable in some cases than the Death Company. So I've actually just recently magnetized a shitload of like Vanguard Veterans with, like, these are all magnetized, right? So it's just like an absolute I already have like a huge squad of Vanguard Veterans with chainswords, thunder hammers, power fists, relic blades, but like I've got, just off camera here, I've got 9 with I've got 9 with lightning claws. So I had it seems a bit crazy to go all in on the Vanguard Veterans, but yeah, I mean, I have, they're more survivable than Sanguinary Guard and Death Company. Against like Death Guard, they're going to wound a lot more reliably, and they're going to do a lot more damage against like Blight Lord Terminators. And I guess when you talk about Deathwing as well, they're going to do a lot more damage against those Deathwing Knights as well. So, and then again, you know, if you think about 5 mod, I can let me think here 1 second. I can show you. I don't know if you watch all my videos. If you don't, that's fine. But what I do, and what, let me bring it up. So I have a Google folder, right, on my computer that contains, here's the folder. So these are, I mean, it's obviously the chat is overlaying it a little bit, but these are all the presentations that I use to make my weekly tactics video. And in here, and let me modify by date. Okay, I've got 2 copies of that. That's fine. Yeah, so here's the one for this is 5 Vanguard Veterans with lightning claws and storm shields against Death Company, right? 4 chainswords and 1 thunderhammer. And if we actually compare down here, then like here's your column for lightning claws. This is with shock assault, and then over here shock assault and savage echoes. So lightning claws, so 1 lightning claw and a storm shield on a Vanguard veteran against infantry will do like 12.8 wounds. The Death Company with 4 chainswords and a thunderhammer would actually only do 11. And I guess this is going to be, this is just going to be against regular toughness 4 infantry, but I guess like it's going to be the same. So like the lightning claws are going to outperform. I could have probably put this in here, and I still can. Like, I update these slides periodically so all the members of the channel can see them. But yeah, so I mean, lightning claws against infantry are already more effective. What am I trying to say? Lightning claws against infantry are already better than like Death Company with 4 chainswords and a thunderhammer. They cost the exact same points as well. Vanguard Veterans with lightning claws are 28 points per model. 4 Death Company with chainswords and 1 with a thunderhammer are also 28 points. So you basically pay the same points and you do more damage with the Vanguard Veterans, and Vanguard Veterans are obviously more survivable in that they have a invulnerable save, and they also have a 2+, you know, like they have a 2+ save and an invulnerable save. So yeah, I mean, it's hard to deny right now that Vanguard Veterans are going to be one of our strongest options. And I mean, I've run Vanguard Veterans for a while now. I like them. Like, you know, a lot of people in Blood Angels, they run like two squads of Sanguinary Guard, right? And then like a Death Company. I don't. I run 1 Sanguinary Guard, 1 Vanguard Veteran, and a Death Company. And honestly, my new list is probably going to be 1 Sanguinary Guard, 2 Vanguard Veterans, and I'm probably going to drop the Death Company. Highland Phoenix might be in the chat tonight, because I saw him a little bit earlier. And like Highland Phoenix, I guess, is really into the maths as well, and like we were discussing it I think we were discussing it on stream like the other night, or maybe it was last Saturday's Tactics stream, and we were basically saying like it's really sad that, you know, the Death Company in 9th edition, they obviously can't perform actions, you know, they can't fall back. The +1 attack they get is fine, and the 6+ feel no pain they get again is fine, but it's nothing amazing. So your Vanguard Veterans are going to be a lot more survivable, and then they're going to also do more damage. Do you know what? Let me go back to that slide real quick and show you the difference in survivability, because I've got that here as well. So like if you look at just these two columns, right? Vanguard Vets in orange and Death Company in red. So against bolt rifles, Vanguard Veterans are like, what, 48 against 60. So there's maybe like, they're 25% more survivable against bolt rifles. Against Flame Storms, it's not much. It's just like 10%. Against Power Fists, they're maybe like 30 or 40% more survivable. Against like high AP weapons like -4, obviously the Death Company would get no save. They're almost twice as survivable. And I guess, yeah, like against multi-meltas, they're literally almost twice as survivable. Against like Repentia's Eviscerators, they're like 50% more survivable. So we just said like Vanguard Veterans are literally going to do like, what was it, like 10% more damage against infantry? Well, they're also going to be like up to 100% more survivable in some cases as well. So yeah, I mean, I've literally bought 2 boxes of Vanguard Veterans in the last couple of months since I actually every time I make one of these bloody tactics videos, I have to go into Element Games and buy some more models, because it seems like every time I actually break stuff down in these tactics videos, it's like, oh geez, these guys are actually that much better, then why the hell am I even fielding these guys, the other guys? Thanks for tuning in, Joseph. Nice to meet you and stuff. I did some maths, and the Deathwing Knights strike me back killing something like 10 Vanguard Veterans per 10 Deathwing Knights. Are you including the storm shields in that? Deathwing Knights are 47 points, of course. 407. Yeah, I mean, if they're 47 points per model, of course they're gonna do a lot of damage. But you know, I just put paint somewhere it's not supposed to. Good evening, Dolph. How you doing, brother? Hope you're well. Epic day for me, Blood Angels Commander. Finally getting my first game in 9th and tonight playing my brother's Tau. Well, good luck, man. Tau aren't that strong right now, so you should be able to take home the win, I would assume. But yeah, congrats on getting your first game of 9th. Is that because of COVID issues, or is that other issues that it's taking you so long to get a game? But yeah, I mean, you can find all the information about pretty much all the Math Hammer in the various videos that I've done in the channel over the last couple of months. Or if you want to just access that Google Drive folder and download everything, all you need to do is become a channel member, and then you get access to all that good stuff. And I guess as channel members, if there's a video or if there's maths you want me to do, I take requests from members and I just make videos that they want to see. And that way I can basically help them out, get the results they want to. Death Company should have kept Fearless. Yeah, I mean, Death Company probably should have kept something like that. And also, I don't know if, you know, as the game moves on, it seems like sometimes units can get left behind. And I guess Death Company, I know we've got Refusal to Die for like 1 or 2 CP, but I honestly think they should have maybe just got a 5+ base, Feel No Pain. You know, keeping them on the 6, Feel No Pain, is, and then charging us like 2 CP for a decent sized squad to make it a 5+, doesn't feel great. So yeah, I mean, I have been running Death Company consistently and I have been winning games with them, but I think I'm gonna I think after I've done these 3 guys, I've got a whirlwind I like literally need to put a little bit of paint onto, and then I'm going to just start putting paint onto those another 9 Vanguard Veterans. I mean, I just painted 11 Vanguard Veterans, so I'm not super stoked about doing another 9, but yeah, I think it just needs to be done. Like they're just performing, and you know, when a unit's performing, then I guess they get picked, and there's not much else to say, right? Have you ever bought recast? Yeah, I mean, in the past I've bought some recasts. I've also had some friends that have bought recasts. I mean, I think sometimes you can get great recasts, sometimes you can get average ones. But I mean, like on the channel, we don't really endorse buying recasts. But I mean, people do it all the time, and yeah, I mean, I guess test the waters, and you'll be able to. I'm sure if you're dead set on finding some recasts, you'll be able to find decent quality recasts. I have Vanguard Veterans tank 54 wounds on 2 guys with storm shields at a 2+ save these orcs, and last week it was glorious. Yeah, I've had the Vanguard Veterans survive like crazy amounts of firepower before as well, just because of the storm shields and like being in cover and stuff like that. So I generally really rate them. Like I rated them before I did the math on the lightning claws. Like I would run them with like 3 power fists and 3 chain swords or something, and like I generally really liked them. But I think the lightning claws just maybe takes them like sort of to the next level, especially against some of those, you know, these new, like anything that's got duty eternal, right? Like Vanguard Veterans are just going to melt those. I guess a good example might be like a Contemptor Dreadnought, right? Like, so if you charge a Contemptor Dreadnought with Vanguard Veterans, you're actually going to wound it 75% of the time with Lightning Claws, and you get so many attacks with Lightning Claws, and they're like -3, I think, once we get to Savage Echoes. So if it's a Contemptor, you're going to push it straight onto its 5+ invulnerable save, and they're going to need to make like, I don't know, like 30-40 saves. Like, it's not going to happen. It's just going to, if you have a 10-man Vanguard Veteran squad, you should be able to kill a Contemptor in 1 turn, and it, you know, it won't even be close to surviving, I wouldn't have thought. I mean, Death Company do get their +2 attacks on the charge, but the math hammer that I work out includes all that, D-King, so I guess the rerolls on the Lightning Claws make them just as good, if not better, than Chain Swords, you know, and I guess they have additional -1 over Chain Swords as well, so yeah, I mean, they're just, I guess they're just a little bit superior that way. If there's a loadout in the Death Company that I've missed, I wouldn't mind doing another video on it, but I think the standard Death Company loadout that a lot of people run is that sort of like 1 or 2 Thunderhammers for every 5 models, and then just Chainsword and Bolt Pistols on the other ones, right? I feel like that's pretty standard. Yeah, there should have been a relic for the priest to increase his aura to 5+. Yeah, I mean, I think if they'd done that, then that would have been really nice. I mean, in some ways that would have been a bit standard of sacrifice like, but I don't know if I ever thought the standard of sacrifice was overpowered. I thought it was good, but I don't know if I ever considered it overpowered. I think the fact that Sanguinary Guard get no invulnerable save was like, it was the one thing you had to take then to make the Sanguinary Guard feel like a really viable unit. Because in 9th edition I find myself hiding my Sanguinary Guard a lot until they can get into combat, whereas I never felt like I really had to do that so much in last edition. There should, I would understand Death Company getting left behind if the Primaries Death Company are any good, but they're worse. Yeah, well, I mean, it's just, the way I tend to run my death company, right, in ninth edition anyways, it's usually a 5 or 6 man death company, and they usually deep strike in, and they usually want to kill the enemy in the backfield objective, right? And a squad of 5 guys will be able to kill a backfield objective. Like if it's a squad of intercessors, or if it's a squad of like chaos cultists or orcs or whatever, the squad of 5 usually has enough melee attacks to chew through and kill that squad, right? So that's how I was running them. But if that's how you want to run them, and you actually can pair up lightning claws against, you know, what did I say? 4 chain swords and a thunder hammer. The lightning claws are actually going to do better, and then the interesting thing is you're then going to leave a squad with 5 storm shields on that objective, which is going to be infinitely more difficult for the enemy to shift than if it was a squad of 5 death company, right? So like you basically you sort of get a win-win. You do more damage, so you're more likely to kill the squad that's holding the objective, and you're going to be much more difficult for the enemy to kill, and you're actually exact same points. It's 140 points for both squads. So I mean, based on that, to me it's like, as much as I like the Death Company and they're iconic, and you know what, they're already painted, so I wouldn't have had to just add 9 more models to my painting table. I am going to paint those Vanguard Veterans. So we should probably get off Vanguard Veterans, because I could probably talk about them all night. What we'll do is, I think I'm going to be playing some games on the stream in a couple of weeks' time, and those games are most likely going to include these models. So I guess if you just make sure you tune in on those streams, you'll be able to see if they perform or if they don't perform. But I'm pretty hopeful that they'll perform. I really can't see them not performing that well. I run the Forlorn Fury Thunderhander attack, and we are Blood Angels. We should have a Death Company. I mean, yeah, we should have a Death Company. But, like, Death Company... I don't know, man. We'll see. Like, I kind of agree with the fact that I feel like we should have a Death Company, but I want to try the Vanguards because, like, I'm really impressed with everything about them, on at least in the math. So I guess we'll see how the math actually turns out on the tabletop. I have a sneaky suspicion that I may end up buying a 5th box of Vanguard Veterans, though. I mean, like, they normally perform really well anyway, so I can't see why these ones would really be any different. Every problem can be solved with enough rage. Yeah, maybe. Maybe every problem can be solved with enough rage. Yeah, maybe it would have been nice if Death Company could have taken Lightning Claws. I feel like they used to maybe get Lightning Claws, but maybe I'm wrong. Obviously, they used to get Bolters, and they took that away from them, which is a little bit annoying if you spent time converting them all to, you know, having Bolters. Have you ever considered Inquisitor? I'm going to use Hector Rex for my guard flesh tears. Wonder if he could be good. They can give an extra 5+ invulnerable. Do you know what? I haven't used an Inquisitor. I've used a couple of Assassins in 9th edition, but I haven't actually used an Inquisitor. But I mean, I don't tend to rule anything out. Like if I see value in it, you know, like I might pick it. So maybe I just need to, maybe I need to look at the one you mentioned, and see if they're, you know, like see if I'm seeing value in it, because I mean the assassins usually add like a sort of like slight other dimension to your army. So I mean, the Inquisitors are probably just the same, right? Like it just adds something that previously we couldn't really do, or one of the BAs got a top 3 recently, brought 2 Power Fist 5-man death companies, 1 Vanguard Vet with Lightning Claws, and 2 Sanguine Guards. You know what? I think I did actually see that list, and I was going to maybe do a video on it. I like doing videos on the tournament lists because, you know, they're generally pretty interesting to see what lists are winning tournaments. So, one of our subscribers linked me a list from an Australian tournament. I think it might be the same list. Yeah, and it came third. You're saying it came top 3. I think it came third. So yeah, maybe I'll look at that list this early this week, I guess. No, yeah, I feel like I remember Death Company with Lightning Claws at some point as well, but maybe it was a long time ago. Yeah, pretty much. Membership is the join button. You'll see the join button under all the videos, Adam. I think if you click the join button, you'll see a little video of what you get. So, that video is maybe a little bit out of date in that, well, we did just open a Discord up, but it is just members only for the next week or so. But in the very near future, we'll be opening it to pretty much all subscribers. So we have that, but yeah, the join button will let you become a member. Do you know what? I've been playing 40k for 25 odd years. I don't actually know if I've ever fully finished a model that had lightning claws on it before this edition. And I don't really know why. I guess just probably I always just went Thunder Hammers on Terminators because preference, I guess. Maybe I wasn't trying to be as competitive in previous editions though. And now I'm just trying to be super competitive, so it's Lightning Claws are best right now, let's get them. That's why I magnetized a bunch of the guys, so that it's too many times in the past have I painted entire squads and then been oh, the weapon options aren't that good. So I guess all these Lightning Claws, not these 2 veterans, but all the ones on the Vanguard Veterans are basically magnetized. Yeah, the only reason that the Discord isn't open to everybody yet is because I wanted to figure out a way to there's a way in Discord where you can link it to a YouTube channel, and if everyone has their Discord linked to their YouTube account, it means that it will detect that you are a member of the channel and it will give you access to special members only rooms. So I was setting that up, and now that is set up. So honestly, we could probably launch the Discord to people anytime this week. So probably in one of the videos this week, I'll dump a Discord link in the description and let you know about it. But yeah, so basically, if you are a member on the YouTube channel as well, you will actually get access to extra rooms. And there we go, Adam. Thank you very much. Very kind of you. And there are also members only posts over on the like in the community tab on YouTube, with some information, so you can grab those there. And if there's anything else you need, man, you're always here in every stream anyway, right, Adam? If there's anything you ever need, and like if there's a that's what I was saying. So like one of the members this week, actually, one of the suggestions we got was that like they really want to know the math hammer on the Sanguinary Guard weapons, especially like maybe Deathwing Knights are a good thing to bring to the equation, actually, like for the math hammer, like if people are struggling with them, then that's one of the things we'll maybe look to include in this week's video, because we want to include things that are helpful, or that help people build better army lists, I guess, is important, right? But yeah, by the blood I am made. Yeah, you were made now, Adam, for sure. Thank you. But I think it's going to be around the 15th of March. Well, I was going to say it's the next time. If everything stays the way it is, I think the 15th of March is when we're going to aim to do like a live game again on the channel. I think the COVID situation will be, in a good place by then, and we'll be allowed to do that, basically. So that is the goal. So just maybe a couple more weeks. So I gotta get. I actually think every unit in my new army list will be at least have 3 colors on them by then. And my bikers, like I've been trying desperately to get all my characters on bikes done, because obviously jump pack unit, like I have what am I trying to say? I have a bunch of Blood Angels characters, like custom characters with jump packs, like Smash Captains and all this, but the new chapter approved, no, they're not chapter approved rules, the new chapter command rules and the ability to make these like really survivable bike characters has me like basically painting 3 different characters on bikes, like the Primaries chaplain on a bike, a Death Company captain on a bike, and a chapter master on a bike, and that's what I'm going to be fielding. I know that they have some issues like with breachable terrain and stuff, but honestly I haven't had too many problems with it. I think in one of my games I wasn't able to make a charge with a bike captain, where like previously with a jump captain I wouldn't have had to go around the terrain, so it would have helped. But I mean, like, that's one charge out of like 10 games or something. So I think the fact that they can also move 20 inches, and then in turn 1 you can move 20 inches, and if you do move to 20 inches, like use the advance, you then have the ability to use skilled riders, so you can be -1 to hit as well. So I think generally the bike captains are in a really good spot for Blood Angels right now. Let me show you a couple of them in a second. It's What's your thinking about brush priming? I've been doing it because we have a really cold winter in the States. Struggled with white, but black or grey seem to work better. Yeah, I mean, brush priming can be fine if you have some good brush priming paint, I guess. If you're just putting down Citadel paints, I'm not sure how effective that will be. What do you think of taking a Psyker Inquisitor instead of a Librarian, instead of taking Vanguard or Extra Patrol? I mean, you could. I don't know all the Inquisition psychic powers off the top of my head, so I'll have to have a look into them and let you know. how exactly I feel about them. But yeah, I do not know all the Inquisition powers off the top of my head, that's for sure. Yeah, check this. I'm working on 2 bikers. I just put the texture paint down on this one this morning, so it's a bit messy, but yeah, I mean, I'll be tidying it up. So this is I guess this was a Death Company bike, but honestly, it's going to be a chapter master that rides this bike, and then this is the other one that is a bit further behind. But yeah, a bit of edge highlighting needs tidied up there for sure. And those vents need tidied up. But yeah, I mean, I'm desperately trying to get 2 bike captains ready for the first game that I play. So I think it's like 2 weeks away or something. So I'm trying to get those ready because I just generally think those bike captains are super good right now. Cool. I've decided to pick up Diablo 2 in the Xbox sale tomorrow. Nice, Dolph. We were playing a little bit of Diablo 2 last night on Diablo 2 and Whiskey was actually what I was doing last night, so that's kind of fun. It's been too long since I've played a game like that. I love Inquisition to work, but I just haven't been optimal for Blood Angels. Yeah, I mean, I don't know how good their powers synergize. I will have a look into their powers, though. What book actually has the Inquisition stuff, then? Because I assume they haven't had a 9th edition release, right? So it's still like the 8th edition rules that you're using for Inquisition? I've just checked the 3rd, 4th, 5th edition codex, no Death Company Lightning Claws. I'm annoyed I can't find 6th and 7th book to check. Well, do you know what? Maybe I'm wrong. Or maybe it was all the way back in like 2nd edition. I have the 2nd edition codex. Well, do you know what? I actually have 2nd, 4th, 5th, and then 8 and 9. So I was missing a couple in between there. Yeah, the Dreadnought Leg Guard works great on those bikes, right? I've used those a couple of times. So if you ever buy a Furioso Dreadnought or any of the Blood Angels Dreadnought kits, the extra leg guards that you don't use, or the extra guard you don't use on the Force Pike, works really well as like a spoiler or a wheel guard on the bike. It's almost like a 1-for-1 part with no conversion. You just stick it over the wheel. Originally, actually, I was going to do both. Like, I was originally just going to do a Death Company character on bike, but the Chapter Master on bike he's just absolutely no joke. I absolutely love him. I haven't had him die on me in a single game yet, and in one game I think he tanked, was it 12 multi-melta shots at close range? And he just took 2 wounds. I mean, it was glorious. I mean, Andrew was in the chat earlier. It was him that did it, and like, honestly, when he did it, I kind of saw his face fall a little bit because he was like, "What?" I was like, "Yeah, this guy is a tanky motherfucker." But yeah, so a Chapter Master on a bike that's pretty nigh on unkillable, and a Death Company captain on the bike that is also not quite as nigh on unkillable, but he's really survivable as well. And I guess you can use some stratagems on him to, give him that, what is it, refusal to die, if you really wanted to try and make him very unkillable as well. Bike captains are, in my opinion, the best offensive captains for Space Marines in general right now. Yeah, I mean, that's why I'm building 2 of them. And it's a little bit annoying, don't get me wrong, because I have some really cool custom conversions that I made with jump pack captains in the previous editions. Like I had basically a slam captain that would he was a monster. You know, like you could get like what 10 attacks with a strength 4 Thunderhammer, or sorry, a damage 4 Thunderhammer, and then you could get him to do another 10 attacks with Honor the Chapter and stuff. And he was like 130 points or something. I mean, like I made a really cool model for him, but yeah, right now to me it just seems like the bike captains are just infinitely superior. So as much as I care about the lore and stuff, and I do like the lore and I do read the books. Speaking of the books, I actually ordered the new Blood Quest today. I don't know if any of you have ordered that, but if you wanted Volume 2, it's only available for a limited time right now. So, you know, I like the lore, I generally do, but when it comes to actually winning games on the table, if something is generally quite a bit better and also less points, then I'm sorry, lore gets thrown out the window for me at that point, and it goes on, what do I do to build the strongest army, or how do I get the strongest army, I guess. Could you use the 5+ invulnerable for infantry and bikes? Yeah, I need to... So what book are you getting the rules for these Inquisition from? Just bought the Dark Angels Combat Pro set for the Dreadnought and Interceptors. Keep the Chaplain and the Intercessors for conversion purposes. Hydra, if you weren't here earlier, I was speaking about the... If you are making your Inceptors from the Combat Patrol box into Plasma Inceptors, consider using the Bolters for some sort of conversion, right? I bought a couple of Space Marine heroes off eBay and used the Bolters from those Inceptors to basically like make their Storm Bolters look hell a lot cooler. So that's something you can consider if you're actually not, if you're not going to build Bolter Inceptors, and you know, rather than just binning the parts or putting them into a bits box with no real goal. You could make yourself a pretty cool Terminator conversion just by buying like one of those Series 2 Terminators from eBay for like $5. Pretty fun little thing to think about anyway. This is a very cool model. I kind of maybe shouldn't have stuck his sword on, but do you know what? It was so fiddly to get the sword stuck on. So I guess just have to live with it and try and paint in behind it nicely. Good night, Mike. Or sorry, who was taking off? Oh, good night, Evan. Thanks for hanging out. Congrats on... Did you get 500 then, or are you real close? But yeah, congrats when you do get 500. I'm sure it's coming, man. You keep it up. I'll be entering your giveaway when you get 500, and you can paint me some more models, because I'm slow at painting. I ordered the BQ book today as well. I saw the GW email and went for it. Nice. Yeah, I was thinking of actually reading the BQ book on a stream or something. Like, I don't know what the legal implications of that are, but that's me got volume 1 and 2 now, so maybe we'll just read it on stream or something, and anyone that didn't manage to get it can just watch the video. I mean, or maybe I'll do it in like a few parts. But I mean, it's not as much reading as looking at the pictures, right? Because it's a graphic novel, so... Hector Rex is Imperial Armor Compendium. Not sure the rest. Using Battlescribe right now. I think he's White Dwarf. So like his stats are in the Imperial Armor Compendium. Are the psychic powers in the Imperial Armor Compendium as well? This model here is actually a Forge World Chapter Master, Ralladorn. I've just... Obviously, we can't really use another Chapter Master because we've got Dante or whatnot. But yeah, let me show you. Oh. Yeah, so it's this model. But I put a different shoulder pad on his left arm. I got rid of this underslung gun, like I just didn't attach it. And I obviously put I filed this part away, like underneath, because I don't really like painting faces. I prefer doing helmets because everything matches with helmets. So I actually filed that part of the model off and then put a Blade Guard veteran helmet on him because I'm using him as a company veteran. So that's what he looks like. Obviously, right now he doesn't look nearly as good as the Forge World website shows, but we'll see. Maybe I'll be able to get close. Blood Angels Book Club. Well, I mean, it'll be a graphic novel, so we could literally have the novel put down on the desk here and we could read through it, and I could take my time and you guys could see the pictures and save you guys $40. I don't know. I've never read Blood Quest before, so I don't know. I've picked up both issue 1 and 2. I'm not sure how many parts are in the story, but the synopsis sounded interesting, and like I said, like I do really like the Blood Angels lore, so and I think it's basically a limited time offer from Games Workshop at the moment, so I guess like after the limited time offer happens, I don't know how you'd be able to get a copy of the book anymore, or how that would really work. So I'm actually putting down like a crap ton of Dawnstone on this guy, but it's basically just base colors. Because I'll put either like silver or gold or something over this. But I guess for the moment it just looks like we're putting way too much grey on this guy. You've seen a channel that just straight reads the lower books as his videos. Okay. Well then by all means, we are going to read Blood Quest on the channel. I don't know how long it will take for it to come because it said it was print on demand. But when it comes, we'll just read it on the channel. So I guess you guys can have that to look forward to as well. I amn't the strongest reader, but maybe I'll glance through it first so that like I'm not reading it so I sort of know the gist of it. But I mean, if it's a graphic novel, I'm sure it'll be fine. I do like some of these custom Forge World shoulder pads though, like the detail on them is just insane. Not even 1 kilometer day could keep me away. Oh, a 1,000 kilometer day could keep you away. Is that how far you literally drove 1,000 kilometers today, man? That is impressive. Your butt must literally be sore from sitting on the seat for that long. How many hours does it take to drive 1,000 kilometers? Like 15 or something? The Blood Quest stories are a real product of their time, real 90s overblown action, some lower and a bit dated, but very cool. Okay, well, I mean, I guess we can overblown action and a bit dated actually probably sounds good to me, because I kind of think that they don't make movies or video games like they used to. You know, like some of my favorite movies are, well, Terminator 1984, I guess, Aliens 1979, I think. Do you know, or sorry, Alien 1, 1979. Alien 2, that movie was amazing. I guess it was called Aliens. It was like 1985, maybe. Die Hard. I think Die Hard's like 1988. You know, I don't know, some of those older movies are... if we're going back to old movies as well, Highlander, what a great movie that was. That was surely 80s as well. I don't know if they make movies as good as they used to. So often the fluff in the GW books is so over the top and even silly, I've been hesitant. Do you know what? The Dante books were actually really good. If you've never enjoyed Games Workshop books, which I guess is possible, like you say, some of them might be over the top, you should try I guess it begins with the first book in the series is obviously just called Dante. They are excellent books. There's 3 in the series: Dante, Devastation of Baal, and Darkness in the Blood. And I have really enjoyed all 3 of those. The second they release another one, I will get it. You know, it'll be a day one purchase for me, or it'll be a day one audiobook. I really prefer them in Audible. I guess just in general, Audible is to me it's great value for money. Usually on Audible, and especially if we talk about like, there's actually a link in the video description where you can get an Audible book like completely free, even if you've had a free trial before. They'll give you another book free if you use that link sometimes in my description. And for me, Audible are just, you know, like, normally it costs like $3.99 a month or something, and it's like, you can't even get a paperback book for $3.99 a month. And Audible, they'll read it to you, they'll put in sound effects. The production value is amazing. I'm a huge advocate of Audible. I think it's great. Would you consider using blood drop rhinestones on your mini, as it really makes them pop? I mean, personally, I've seen some people use the rhinestones, and I do think that they are like genuinely pretty cool. And I mean, I guess it depends. For me, I already have, like, you know, 10,000 points painted in a single style, and in some ways that really limits what I can do, right? Because it's like I want anything that I do now to fit in with what I've already done, because I am never going to go back and repaint 10,000 points. I think at one point I looked at like what I painted in a year, and it was like an average of like 2,000 points. So literally it's 5 years. If I were to go back and do what I'd done before, it would be 5 years worth of painting. So I generally sort of like don't, you know, like I'm trapped in that I kind of have to do what I've always done with models. I mean, it's okay, and I want everything to be uniform, but like if you're fine going back to models that you already have, or if you don't have that many models and you're just thinking about, is it a possibility, then I'd say, yeah, go for it, brother. You know, the models are what you make of them. You know, like, some people just slap the paint on them very quickly and just want to play with them on the table. I mean, that's fine as well. I mean, like, for me, I feel like they're a considerable investment, right? You know, like, each box of models is usually like $50, and then it's a lot of time. So I guess, like, I feel like it's up to you to make... I mean, maybe that's why so many people love this hobby, right? It's up to you to decide how much effort or how little effort you want to put into them, and you kind of make that part of the hobby your own. So, yeah, I mean, like, I'm usually quite impressed when I see other people's models that have conversions and stuff like that. And I love doing conversions. Like, obviously, this guy is a conversion, you know, like a custom shoulder pads, custom head. I did say a little minute ago that I like filed off the front of his armor piece. So I mean, I do a bit, but yeah, no, I've never done custom gemstones, but I think I have a friend that does Eldar that's used gemstones on his Eldars. I don't know what they're called on the Eldar models. But I mean, it's, you know, it's a cool theme, and obviously he spent a lot of time on it and he's very proud of it. So if it's something you want to do, like, by all means do it, man. I really like the Highlander TV series. You know what? The Highlander TV series was like so low budget, but it was great, wasn't it? I liked it as well. Oh, what was the guy's name in the TV? Because in the movie it was Connor McLeod. Oh, it was Malcolm, wasn't it? Was it Malcolm McLeod? I might be wrong. I feel like it was Malcolm. It's been a while. Like at least probably 10 years or something. Speed limits would make it close to 8 hours, 75 mph, but Texas tends to give a buffer on the interstates outside the cities. I see. Yeah, speed limits in the UK are a little bit higher than America, which is strange, because see, in the UK engines are a lot smaller actually, because like we pay way more than for gas than you guys do, like almost a ratio of like I'm trying to think, like, what do you pay for a gallon of gas right now, Pedroy? Tell me what a gallon of gas costs, and I'll tell you what a gallon of gas costs here. I find as long as I'm not trying to do too many things at once, Chris, I retain the story pretty well, right? Like, if I'm just painting models and I'm listening to, like, if I'm just painting, nothing else is on the background, no one else is awake or anything in my household, and I'm just painting and I'm listening on Audible, I find that I retain the story pretty well. But like, say someone comes into the room, or there's some background noise, or I'm checking my phone, for example, then I find like I don't retain it at all. So kind of trying to make sure like my phone is out of reach or whatnot when I'm listening. And you know, sometimes maybe if I do realize that I'm doing that, then I might end up just winding back a whole chapter and listening to it again. But yeah, maybe, I mean, I've been doing audiobooks now for probably, I don't know, 5, 6, maybe even 7 years, something like that. So maybe you just Duncan MacLeod. Yeah, why did I think it was Malcolm? I don't know. But yeah, Duncan, that's it. Yeah, maybe he looks like someone that would be called Malcolm. Maybe that's where I got that from. But thanks, guys. Yeah, it's totally Duncan. Duncan MacLeod of the, like, I'm Scottish, I should say. Do you know what's funny is the guy that plays Highlander, Christopher Lambert, is not Scottish. Was he not French? And his Scottish accent was a joke. I mean, Sean Connery's Scottish accent was okay, but it should really be like, what was it, like Connor MacLeod of the Clan MacLeod. I mean, like, he didn't even sound anything like that. Like, I guess that's Hollywood for you. Y'all pay per litre and we pay per gallon. You pay $2.33 a gallon. We pay, I'm pretty sure we're paying like $10 a gallon, maybe more. So yeah, it's weird that we have higher speed limits because our engines are like so much smaller. Like, my car has a 1.6 litre engine in it, and that's like reasonable sized. You know, like if you have a 2 litre engine over here, you like people would say that's like a big engine, I guess. But I mean, when you talk at like $10 for a liter, for a gallon of gas, you know, something's got to give, I guess. Yeah, I mean, I guess, but I mean, if you can try and like, normally when like, obviously some of you guys are listening to me chat to you while you're painting, right? But like, if I'm not here, what do you guys do when you're painting, right? You just listen to music, or you put on some drivel on Netflix, or what? Do you know what? I will give you a recommendation for Netflix if you're painting. One of the things that I like to watch, well, I don't really watch it, right? I just listen to it, is World War II in color. That's a great documentary to watch, or sort of listen to while you're painting. I think I watched the whole documentary while painting. But yeah, at the moment I'm working on Siege of Terra. I think I'm on chapter 12 now of the first book, and it seems like it's going to be a pretty cool story. And I'm assuming, maybe someone in the channel can tell me, but I'm assuming in the last book of Siege of Terra we'll get the fight between Sanguinius and Horus, or maybe not the last book, but one of the last books in that series. I would assume that's what we would get. Sean Connery was playing an Egyptian in Highlander. Yeah, that's very true. I forgot that as well. Man, you're going to make me want to watch... I'm going to have to tell my wife, like, is Highlander on Amazon Prime or something? Because it's been too many years since we watched this movie. Last time I was on the Isle of Britain, I drove London to York, to Glasgow, to Liverpool, to Cardiff, and then back to London. Yeah, do you know what? I kind of one time would like to go to America and do some sort of road trip. I just haven't ever thought about it too hard, but you obviously see it in movies, like people road tripping across America, and it's kind of daunting, the size of it compared to Britain. So always thought that might be something cool to do someday. Yeah, I mean, if you're smoking weed, you might not be able to take in your audiobooks too well, but I mean that is all on you, brother. I mean, imagine you can't do too many things all that well when you're smoking weed, right? I usually throw on South Park while I'm painting. Yeah, I mean, it's something that you like, that you don't need to listen to, you don't need to give much attention to. I totally vouch for World War II in color. That is a great show. I don't think you need to give too much attention to, but it's kind of dope. I know it's off topic, but I think you missed it. If you want to look at Inquisition rules, they are in the PA book Pariah. Okay. I do not have... I never bought that book. I'm wondering if somebody has a PDF that I could just get a scan of those couple of pages from. I know they're probably still selling the Psychic Awakening books, but I mean, I guess the chances are they're probably going to change the rules for 9th edition, right? Like they'll change some of the psychic powers, the charges, that sort of stuff. D-King. So I mean, maybe I'll check that Russian site. They sometimes have they have started updating it actually for 9th edition, so maybe they're on there. But having a Psyker that can give a 5+ invulnerable save, I mean, I guess it's just the same as Shield of Sanguinius, sort of. But I mean, I do actually kind of like Shield of Sanguinius. Like, if I was upgrading someone to Chief Librarian, I'd probably consider taking the Shield. I don't think it's a bad pickup. I mean, Unleash Rage is probably a stronger pickup, But you know, there is something to be said about having your models alive as well. Like, it is important to be alive. Also, as a slow painter myself, both painting itself and getting around to painting something, listening to lore gives me an incentive to paint. Yeah, do you know what? There is something to be said about listening to the actual 40k books while painting 40k can actually be quite inspiring. You know, like some people were saying a few weeks ago that they sometimes have trouble with motivation, like the painting isn't the part of the hobby that they enjoy, but obviously you need to paint to get your armies ready. So sometimes those audible books or those listening to them while painting can actually sometimes motivate you more. You know, to finish painting the model or get that model, you know. I think that's a genuine thing that happens, Adam. I think you're 100% right. Because I know that when I've been I felt that, like, I've been listening to a book and it's really motivated me to be like, oh, I need to get this army painted because look how great they are, look how, etc. You know what I'm trying to say. Okay, if Wapedia is updated, then we'll definitely have a look at that. And you said it was, what was the guy's name? I feel like you'd said Hex or something. I actually don't know that character off the top of my head either. I don't think I've had much experience against Inquisition. I do have had a decent amount of experience against Assassins, but yeah, Inquisition is something I haven't had a huge amount of experience against. Tons of GW rulebooks, but not the newest codexes. Also intellectual property, etc. I do not endorse, etc. Yeah, I'm kind of a bit confused with the whole new app situation because, like, the new app can be kind of useful at times, but, like, I find, like, it's really difficult to... Like, I don't like how you navigate the app at all, right? Like, you know how you punch in your codes and you get access to the books that you've bought? I mean, that's cool, but, like, there should be, like, a section that's just, like, my books. Like, I don't want to have to scroll through all the different books to try and find the damn Blood Angels Codex every time I open the app. Just have a section that's, like, my books. Unless I'm missing it and I'm being really dumb. Do you know what? I probably haven't opened the app in a little while, but, yeah, last time I was looking in the app, I was like, the app has a long way to go to be better. I preferred it just when people got the PDFs, and you know, you maybe didn't buy every PDF, but I mean, most people bought a good amount of the PDFs, and then maybe you shared some screenshots or stuff. I mean, the app seems fine, I guess, but I mean, it's just that would be fine if it was usable, but like for me, it feels like it's a roundabout. You know, it's difficult to find what you need in the app. Inquisitor Cortez, yeah, I know him. He's the same as Tycho. He does not take up a slot. Yeah. I guess none of the Inquisitors take up a slot though, right? Like, it's just like an assassin. You could just take one, basically. And then Hextor Rex. He's in Terminator. I assume you mean he's in Terminator armor and he does mortal wounds vs chaos with a sword. He's Forge World, however. I mean, Forge World isn't that big a deal. I buy from Forge World quite often. I'm gonna check that guy out. Do you know what? I'm kind of getting tired, so I'm actually getting brown paint everywhere except where I want it to go on this model in here at the moment. So it is 1 minute to midnight. I usually try and call them about midnight. So what we'll do is, rather than butcher any more of this guy, I will look at this Hextor Rex because you've got me interested, and then we'll call, we'll call into the stream, and then we'll be back tomorrow, obviously, for a live army show at 4 p.m. UK time. And yeah, if anyone's joined the stream later and they weren't here at the beginning, we are doing a giveaway this week for 3 different boxes of Space Marines. It's the Storm Strike, the Eradicator's multi-part kit, and the Vanguard Veterans. All you got to do is go over onto Friday's video, which was the Leviathan versus the Deradeo. You literally just need to put a comment on that video. The comment can be anything you want it to be. If you don't know what to say, then just say hi. But yeah, every comment on that video has a chance to win a multi-part kit, and that'll be drawn next Sunday. So if you haven't done that, please do it. Please do, because what I was saying earlier, it'd be really nice if some of the people that are hanging out here regularly win the kits. I mean, obviously the draw will be fair, but if you guys don't enter it, then you've got no chance of winning, I guess. So please enter. I guess that's what I'm saying. Yeah, so I guess we painted these guys for 2 hours, and we have done very, very little, except some base coats of like silver. What's that? Shatty bone, a little bit of brown, and yeah, this is why I'm slow at painting. But I mean, I guess they got 3 colors on them, so they could be fielded in a battle. I mean, they're not neat and they're not nowhere near ready, but they could be. Right, let's see if we can find this Hextor guy you talk about. Hextor. $11 people need to hit the like button. And where do I... Alright, Lord Inquisitor Hector Rex, and I guess we'll get him up in Forge World as well. Okay, so this is what he looks like in Forge World. Okay, he is one weird looking model, I guess. You can't rotate him, no? Normally they let you rotate him. So he's... interesting anyway. Would be a fun model to paint. I've never painted anything quite like that before. Cool looking sword as well, right? So, Hector Rex is equipped with a masterwork bolt pistol, Arius. I guess Arius is the name of the sword. You've turned blue? I don't know what you mean by you've turned blue. Speaking of Lone Wolf, did anyone else read the Joe Dever Lone Wolf book as a kid? They were awesome. I didn't read that. Do you think it's about time GW give Dante model, and should he be Primaris? I think the next book that they write needs to be about Dante taking the Rubicon. I think he dies during the Rubicon, Dirty Wizard, and I think he comes back as some sort of super Dante. They have to use they have to use Sanguinace's blood, the last of it, to keep him alive or something. And yeah, I think we do need a better Dante, because right now he's not the most competitive model on the tabletop, and that's a little bit annoying because he's supposed to be, you know, well, what is he now? Regent Imperium Nihilus, or Regent of Imperium Nihilus. I forget his full title, but it's a long, you know, he's got this super duper great new title, and literally all the new title gave him was -1 to hit and +1 command points, which to me feels pretty lackluster. Alright, so what rules does this guy have? Yeah, so you can take one Inquisitor in your army, and you must ally with an Imperium, yada yada yada, and does he get to pick a quarry, or how does that work? Because I haven't picked one of these before. So sword is basically a mastercrafted power sword, is it? But it's got, each time attack is made against a demon, it does mortal wounds. Each time an attack is made with this weapon against the demon, if the attack successfully wounds the target. Alright, so against demons it's badass, right? It's just every wound, which I'm assuming would be a lot, or a decent amount, would just add mortal wounds. 2+ weapon skill, 5 move, 2+ save. He is in Terminator armor. It doesn't... If he's in Terminator armor, shouldn't it mention that he has a... Alright, so he's a shield. This model is a 4+ invulnerable save. Add 1 to armor saving throws for this model. So he's actually got a 1+ save. Each time this model loses a wound as a result of the mortal wound. Oh geez, this guy's badass actually. He's Ordo Malus, thank you. What does that mean? Ordo Malus. Against Chaos or Demons, you can reroll the hit roll and you can reroll the wound roll. Wow, okay. D-King, why did you do this to me? I've already spent $100 on Warhammer today. Do I really need to spend another 38? Can he get him without his little dudes, or does he... You bad man. Okay, friendly Imperial models within 6 can use his leadership. He obviously has a Psychic Hood, and he can perform 2 powers, and he can deny 2 from the Telthis discipline. Where do I see the Telthis? I can't even say that. This is what I said about me not being a strong reader. Telesthiesa? I have no idea how you say that. So you asked me if this is a good character. My first answer now is yes. This character seems like he's amazing. He's basically... So he's on a 1-up save, 4+ invulnerable save, 5+ feel no pain, 6 wounds. Oh, he's only toughness 3. That seems random. Is that right? He's in Terminator armor, but he's in toughness 3. He didn't look... I mean, he doesn't look like he's a toughness 3 model, does he? Telethci. I have no idea. Toughness 3, really? Everything about him seems great except this toughness 3. Is that... Sometimes Wikipedia can be wrong though, so you said you actually had the book. Right, how do I see these powers though? Can I see them on this website? I see. So I mean, I guess he gets wounded a bit more, but his saving throw is generally really, like, his save is really strong. So, I mean, I guess toughness 3 means they'll wound him like 18% more, but then because he's got that 4+ invulnerable save against the 5, so it's almost like if he just was on a 2+ save and a 5+ save like a regular Terminator, that would almost be exactly the same as the toughness 4. Yeah, I don't know some other questions, but they are unaugmented humans. I mean, for 100 points, he seems like he's pretty good, and I mean, it is 6 wounds. Yeah, I want to see his powers. I just don't know how to see them from this website, are they in the... Or is powers in the Imperial Armor Compendium? Or where, like... Oh, it's the Psychic Awakening book that has his powers. Can you take... Are you in the Facebook group, D King? Well, put it this way, if anyone is in the Facebook group that could share a picture of that discipline's powers, then I'll be able to make a comment on how strong he is. But overall, I mean, I think he seems like a pretty interesting character for sure. But yeah, I am actually going to call the stream now. It's 10 past midnight and I am generally pretty tired, but no, when I typed it into the search box, it just took me back to like the Inquisition data sheets, unless I can see... Oh no, okay, you're right. Yeah. Let me bring it back. So we have the powers. Okay, so Terrify, and he gets 2 powers. Select one unit with an 18, subtract 1 from their leadership and they cannot fire Overwatch. Average, I guess. Until this next psychic phase, when a morale test is taken for that unit, so pass the morale test, that's average as well. Dominate. If manifested, select one enemy model within 12 that is not a vehicle and roll 3d6. If the total is greater than enemy's leadership, that enemy model can immediately shoot with one of its weapons and may attack. In either case, treat the enemy model as a separate unit as part of your army while shooting or making that close combat attack. So you can basically make your enemy attack themselves on a 6. So I mean that might be good, I guess, if it's a character with like a strong weapon, that could certainly be useful. Mental interrogation. Until the start of the next psychic phase, when resolving an attack made by that enemy model, subtract 1 from the hit roll. If your army's battle forge, roll 3d6. If the result is equal or greater than the enemy's leadership characteristic, you gain 1 command point. I mean, that's... Mental interrogation is decent as well, because you could just cast it every turn against enemy characters and just try and get yourself 5 extra command points back. Psychic Pursuit is a charge of 7. That's going to be hard to get off. If selected, enemy character that contains models with a wound characteristic less than 10 and is within 18 inches of the Psyker, then select one Ordo Infantry... Well, we wouldn't have any Ordo Infantry units within 6, would we? So they can shoot them. So I guess the option would be Castigation. If manifested, select an enemy within 18 inches visible to the Psyker. If the roll exceeds the leadership, do some mortal wounds. So his powers are okay. I feel like you'd probably end up taking something like Mental Interrogation and Dominate, or Mental Interrogation and Castigation. I mean, I guess you get the denies as well. So yeah, his powers seem okay. He seems very survivable-ish, I guess, with the toughness 3. For 100 points, he seems like an interesting character. And I mean, I guess because he doesn't fill a HQ slot, if you feel like you just needed a Psyker. I don't know where you said that you were going to get a 5+ save from their psychic powers, though, but maybe... you're maybe right, Adam. We maybe need to do a video on this. Warding. I missed that. Where the hell was warding? Oh right, so because he's Order Malice, he gets this as well. So Imperial Infantry or Bikers within 12 can also get a 5+ invulnerable save. I take it he has to pick that, or does he? Yeah, he would have to. So that would cost one of his picks, right? Or this is an addition to... Yeah, I think that would cost one of his picks, right? So you could get the warding and something like domination. So yeah, I mean, he's an interesting character. Maybe he's not quite as auto purchase as I thought, but yeah, I mean, I'd be happy to run him actually. I think for 100 points, he's pretty competitive, really. You know, he's kind of like a very decent chief librarian for 100 points. I think that's one more deny than you would normally get for like the Primaris librarians and stuff, and they cost more than 100 points. Okay, well, yeah, I'm super tired, guys, so I'm gonna call it a night. Sorry if this was a bit unclean, this section here, but this is all kind of new to me. But yeah, maybe a video looking at these guys in a bit more depth would be super useful. So I hope you all have a good evening. If someone's painted this guy and got him looking like he would be part of Blood Angels, please share a screenshot with me. I'd love to see it. And I will talk to you all, I'm sure, very, very soon. We're back tomorrow at 4 PM for our live show. So have a good night, everybody, and hopefully see some of you tomorrow at 4. By the blood are we made, brothers. Peace.